Okay, so these are the two bolts holding the alternator. We're gonna loosen this one at the bottom. That one's 15 millimeter. We're not gonna remove it all the way yet. Oh man, it's been there for a while. A little more leverage. There we go. All right, it's loose. Now, this one on the top is a 13 millimeter. Now, it's a little bit stripped on mine, so I'm gonna do my best to get this in there, get it working. There we go. Perfect. Now, before removing the bottom one, what we will do is we'll move this to the side to give us access to the wires in the back. And we can unclip it. Let's see if we can get a better shot of this. All right, let's clip the cables from the back of the alternator. So this one kind of, you have to pry it outwards and then upwards. What else do we have? We got a little clip here in the back, which might require a smaller screwdriver. I can't really see. Bit of light. Right. So this one in particular, you also have to maybe a small screwdriver, something to pull the tab outwards and then up. And then we have, I believe, a little cover here. You pull back. There's, all right. So I think that might be a 10 millimeter. Let's see. 10 millimeters. It's really in there. Okay, I think this is out. Sorry for covering, this is not the best angle, but I'll give you step-by-step instructions as I can. All right. Remove this nut here. And the cable should be able to just come out like so. Put this back in here so I to loose it. Perfect. We'll set the cabling aside, just out of the way. And we're ready to start prying the alternator off. Actually, I have removed the bottom bolt. Let's go back to the bottom bolt. And it's a long one too. There we go. Here we go. Wiggle it back and forth maybe. And there we go. It's off. Might upgrade this one. I'm not sure yet. I'll do a little cleanup, but I might just stick around with this one a little longer, or I might upgrade for a better one. So I'm, rebuilding the whole thing. So the next step, now that the alternator's off and the serpentine belt is off, is to remove this pulley right over here. And for that we're gonna use this pulley remover. I got this at the Harbor Freight Tools. Now you don't have to buy one. This was like about 30 bucks, $30. Now you can get one, or you can borrow one from AutoZone or any auto parts store. But I find myself using these often, so I decided to just invest in one. So come back and we'll show you how to use it in just a minute. All right, so here's the puller, and it's mostly 3 parts to this. Let's take a look at what we got here. How to assemble it, basically. Depending on what parts are available to you, it's something similar. It may not be the exact same thing. You get this big bolt-on screw right here. Just slide it in, and then in here, this pin, as you can see, is just going to fit in here. Or you can just slide it into the center of the pulley, and then put this one over it. That's just so it makes it a lot easier to put it in place. Now you got these 2 jaws, I think they're called. One has a very thin end versus a much broader side of it. So the broad side goes to the front, like so, and this goes towards the pulley, the oval shaped one, I guess. So when you do slide those on, you're going to put this on there so it can hold it in place. There you go. So now we're going to use let me see what it says. I think it's a half and a crescent wrench, and then you're going to start, this is going to take a while, turning clockwise, you're gonna start hearing a clicking sound, and that's okay. That means that the pulley's getting pulled out. I'm not sure if is this a correction or not, but I had it backwards. The broadside goes to the pulley, while this the thinner side, the oval shape, goes to the front. That I wasn't holding, so it was slipping. So let's try that again. Sorry, take two. There we go. And I used this before so many times that it's embarrassing that I forgot which way it goes, but no problem, we got it done. And it's off. All right. I'll fix this later. Mr. Pulley. Now we have access to those bolts here. We can remove. We're gonna remove these here. couple of here, and there's a couple of hidden ones in the back in there. Hard to see with my camera, but believe me, they're there. We're ready to take off the loosen up the steering hydraulic steering pump. For that, we have to remove this bracket over here. There are two 15 bolts on the side and two 13 bolts nuts on the left side. That will reveal more bolts inside. One of them is an 18 and the other ones are 15. Don't remember how many are there in there. There could be 4 or 5, but we'll see. Once it comes loose, we can set it aside. I am planning on changing that steering that pump once we put everything back together. It's under warranty. It is definitely messed up. I get that little whining sound when you steer, or when you're in idle, actually more when you're in idle. But the steering pump is, yeah, and it's way out, definitely. Okay, so let's get to it. All right, we're gonna start with the 15s. Great workout, by the way. All right. Switching over to 13. I'm gonna need the X-Switch. There, better clearance. Also a little stripped. That's fine. And oh, that's a 13. They're not in really good shape, so I know that's a 13, but it's not going in there. It's like I said, it's stripped most likely. I'll try a slightly larger size. Right, I'm gonna go with a half. Oh, my bad. It's not. It is a 13, but I'm gonna need a long one, a long socket. No, this one. These are too short. All right, 13 millimeter. Let's try that again. Perfect. That's what it was. All right. Yeah. Yeah, the threads are too long, so these bolts stick out pretty much longer than the actual bit allows room for. Almost there. Now this bracket should come off. Perfect. Next, I will put these back here. I don't want to lose them. You know, it's a good practice to put them where you found them, so when you start assembling this, you don't get mixed up where they go. You know, they don't have to be all the way in, just enough so you don't lose them. Just turn this one up, otherwise it might get lost in the process. All right. Whew. That was interesting. All right, should we do the 18 first? Why not? $18mm. Just trying to remember where it's located. It's at the bottom, so you can see where I'm at located. You know, I can't really show you just because of the angle, but as you can see, this is kind of the general area. Leverage. Now, if you're wondering where I got this used to be part of a snow shovel. So, it's made of steel, so it's pretty sturdy. Decided to keep it. And it works amazing. There you go. Just broke off the whatever seal it had on there. Now you might be wondering why I'm wearing gloves. Not so much to keep my hands clean for, I don't mind getting oil on my hands. It's more of handling the camera, and I don't want oil on the camera. Let's see if I can get it by hand now. I think I can. Oh. There we go. There's your 18. Oh, there's oil on there, so you can see that's. There's oil on there, so you can see it's part of that. The gasket under the general area. We'll be fixing. Switching over to 15. So there's this space in between here and this bracket right here. I think that's a nut, but I'm not sure. Switching over to the longer one. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Back to my trusty pry bar. There you go. All right. All right, so let's see how many we got left. This is the last one. That one wasn't so bad. Here's the next one. Let's see. What am I missing? might need a rubber mallet for this. My bad, there's still one more left, so disregard the mallet. Where did I see it? It's right under this pulley right here. Right here. There we go. All right, I think at this point we can pull this off and put it to the side. Just be careful not to spill any of the steering wheel hydraulic fluid. I got a little bit of a problem now. One of the hydraulic lines from the pulley goes under one of the bracing one of the bars, which is costing me, it won't allow me to, this is the wrong location for that. Might have been when I set it up. So, change of plans. I'm gonna have to drain this out using a turkey baster, as much of the fluid as I can, and remove the hose from the bottom, because it's gonna definitely make a mess if I don't remove that fluid first. There will be some fluid coming out from the bottom. Then I'll be able to move to the side, but I'll reconnect the hose afterwards. That is unfortunate at this point because we made so much progress. That's fine. We'll find little things here and there and we'll adapt as we go. All right, for now I'm gonna stop this. Like I said, I'm gonna open this, drain as much, and plug the bottom on there, and then we'll move this to the side, and that's it. We'll move on to other areas of the engine. All right, so here's the situation now. There is a hose. You can see that hose down there. It's pretty much under the bar. And so that won't allow me to move this whole component with the steering hydraulic steering pump over here to this base just to give me room. But I do need to change the steering pump anyways. I need to replace it, so might as well. I'm gonna drain it out. Like I said, I'm gonna open this. I'm gonna remove the cap, use the turkey baster, and get as much of the fluid out as possible. Then when that's done, I'm gonna put a container as close as possible to here or at the bottom, because I'm gonna remove that. There's a clip right here, and I'm just gonna move that clip and unplug that hose. Then after that is unscrewing this right here, and I'm gonna. That's it. You remove these 3 bolts in the front. this one, and that one. And that will allow you to pull the steering pump out of the way, which I'm gonna take back to the auto parts store, which is, like I said, this part is under warranty. And then reverse order, put it back here, screw it on, put the hose at the bottom, clip it back on, replace the O-ring. There's an O-ring for this component that comes with a pump. Make sure you replace it. Don't use the same one, or you're gonna regret it later when you're having to have to repeat the whole process. Now, in my case, I removed the alternator and all that because I'm working on the engine. So basic steps for removing and replacing the steering pump is, again, drain it first, remove the belt, which is just by moving the tensioner counterclockwise to remove the serpentine belt. Then use a pulley puller, which you can borrow at any auto parts store, or just, they're very inexpensive. I got one for $30, about $30 at Hardwood Freight Tools. Pull the pulley and disassemble it, and then everything's in reverse order once you're ready to put back everything on there. Okay? All right. We'll get back to this later.